Welcome to the Shreveport Connection with Tommy. This video is on your 28th anniversary live fan report. I got two of them from the event last night, and an injury report as well from one of the fans. And here we go. Okay, celebrity chef Robert Irvine was backstage at this anniversary. Irvine is married to TNA Knockout Gail Kim, by the way. T.J. Perkins was once again playing the character of Suicide. James Storm was showing signs of abdominal discomfort after working the tag title match. Storm returned to the ring after suffering the slight abdominal tear and abductor strain and groin pull. Storm stated on Twitter on May 21st that his doctor told him that he would be sidelined for 6 to 8 weeks, but he returned early. Storm noted on Twitter that he was 75% healthy and in a lot of pain, but still performed for you fans. And he did state on Twitter that was last night on that following his match. Irvine has been backstage at a lot of TNA events, though I'm told he's not a regular due to his schedule. Also, TNA President Dixie Carter noted on Twitter on Sunday night that ESPN anchor Robert Flores was also at the show. And now for your anniversary report from Jim from Boston area. And it said that we're following. The crowd filled in pretty quickly and were hot in the right places most of the night. He was seated at the section just to the right of the ramp, and there were some good fans near him, but also some irritating ones. Of course, that's what you do when you're at a live event or anything. The Ultimate X match got the crowd up pretty well. A few fans were cheering for Suicide, but I think it may have been tongue-in-cheek, and the crowd was solidly behind Sabin throughout. Although they did die a little after the Tower of Doom spot looked over choreographed. A good pop for Chris Sabin winning. Hulk Hogan got the top reactions of the night when he came out to talk to Sabin and Aces and Eights. The crowd liked Sabin getting the chance to cash in, as well as the profanity coming out of Hogan. A good reaction for Magnus. Superstar reactions from Samoa Joe and Hardy were way over. The crowd loved Joe's offense, especially with Garrett Bischoff, who got the "You Can't Wrestle" chant. No one cared about Sam Shaw or Jay Bradley. They were just "Who are you?" chants directed towards them. Massive exodus to the concession stand during their match. Good heat for Devon during his promo, especially when the Knicks were brought up. Loud "Let's Go Bruins" chant, and there was a good anticipation for Abyss. And the crowd responded for his entrance and the win, even though the TNA title means nothing. Great reaction for Kurt Angle being inducted into the Hall of Fame, although a lot of people seated near the reporter, wanted Jerry Jarrett. The crowd got a little impatient with Dixie Carter leading up to the announcement. Like Sting last year, Angle looked like he didn't know going in. Bad Influence got the best reaction leading into the tag match. There were a lot of shirts throughout the crowd. Not much of a reaction from Bobby Roode and Austin Aries or Storm or Gunner. A solid boos for Chavo and Hernandez. The crowd did like Bad Influence being disqualified and audibly voiced their displeasure. A decent pop for Storm and Gunner winning. Most thought it was the wrong call. Admittedly, I did not see much of the Knockouts match as I hit the concession stand, but he was impressive. From what he saw was impressive. Loud holy shit chant, and this is awesome chant from the Bulldog spot. Real good reaction for Angle, and a decent one for AJ Styles. His new music definitely fit him, and the crowd almost didn't seem to know who to cheer for in the match, and there wasn't much pop for the finish. A lot of people didn't see it coming, as we expected the match to go longer and expected AJ to win. There was a big pop for Sting, some decent heat for Bully Ray, but he had some audible support as well. This was a typical Sting brawl through the ringside area match with a lot of shortcuts, big expectations from the for the rumored Brooke Hogan heel turn, but it never came to be. The crowd loved the pile driver spot on the exposed ring wood. The right guy went over, but there was too much going on in the finish. Overall, it was a very enjoyable show. Other than that, the tag match and Angle versus AJ, the right people went over, and the crowd appreciated the effort. Now for the second report by Zach Zimmerman. The arena was about halfway blocked off for the set and production area. The areas that were available, however, were virtually full. A buddy and I guessed on attendance, and it had somewhere around 4,000 to 5,000 people. A hot crowd all night, as long as the matches were up to par. The Ultimate X match was solid, but looked safer and more choreographed than many of the other matches. Take the good with the bad in that. The crowd was behind Chris Sabin the whole way. Ironically, after making it through the match without injury, Sabin pulled the belt down hard on top of his head and when he won and bled pretty heavily. Hulk Hogan seemed like an unnecessary appearance. He got a great reaction, and I understand that he gets off on that. But it really pulled some of the shine off of Chris Sabin's win and transitioned awkwardly into the six-man match. Lots of jeers for Wes Briscoe and Garrett Bischoff, both of whom still have no place in the ring on pay-per-view. If TNA bases any of their decisions on crowd reaction, they will be building on Samoa Joe and Jeff Hardy. Joe's reaction may have actually been bigger than Hardy's. Both were super over with a live crowd, despite being an inconsequential match and in an insignificant program. Jay Bradley versus Sam Shaw was the dud of the night. Jay is pretty good. I just don't think Sam Shaw belongs in a major wrestling company. In fairness, the crowd didn't care how good either of them was, and they just wanted this match to end so they can enjoy the rest of the show. The crowd popped big for Abyss's entrance, but seemed to back off when they noticed he looked like Abyss, but wrestled like Joseph Hart. The Let's Go Bruins chant was more over than anything that happened in this match. The crowd didn't get up for the title change, though. Or they did get, he did say they did get up for the title change. Kurt Angle got a great reaction for the Hall of Fame announcement. Dixie Carter, not so much. The video was well done by TNA production standards. TNA's tag division is a mess. The two heel teams had better crowd reaction than the babyface teams. With their antics, though, I hardly consider Bad Influence heels at this point. They were the most over team in the match, and the crowd seemed deflated when they were eliminated. James Storm put an impressive effort, given his condition, but he definitely looked like he was feeling the effects once again, though. A good pop on the title change, as was the trend. A fair amount of people took the Knockouts match as a concession bathroom break, but those who did missed a hell of a match. I don't want to see the ladies bumping like this regularly, but it was awesome to see their effort so above and beyond what is expected. The crowd went nuts after Gail Kim took the chair bump in the corner and were hooked from there on. I never heard a reaction like that for a knockout. Top contender for the match of the night honors. AJ Styles' new music was another Serge Salinas gem. But it fits his character better. I suppose the crowd was essentially split, with both Styles and Angle having very heavy support. Both men sold brilliantly, but the finish coming on a roll-up in 15 minutes was a bit lame and anticlimactic. Still good enough to be called the match of the night. Great reaction for Sting. A good heat match with a smattering of cheers. For Bully Ray, the crowd completely bought in on the multiple pile driver false finishes. But I thought it was a bit too much, especially with Sting holding his own against 5 aces and 8 guys afterwards. Typical overbooked TNA main event, but passable for what it was. Earl Hebnar appeared to be had badly injured his left knee during a mid-match pin attempt. He came up gingerly and winching, then held on to the ropes for most of the remainder of the match. Post-match, Brian Hebnar, several other referees and medical staff were tending to him. Here's hoping it looked worse than it was. Overall, the show was solid enough to be called good by TNA standards. There were, of course, all top frequent problems that plagued the company, but besides that, the matches delivered, and the crowd was hot and responsive for everything that deserved it. I debated whether or not to make the drive out to Boston, and I'm glad I did. Thanks, that result, thanks to Zach Zimmerman. Just call him Zim, as he wants to be called. There's a nickname on ProWrestling.net again. Again, thanks for viewing, and peace out.